The day my father betrayed me didn't just steal the future I had worked hard to build, it challenged my deepest beliefs about family. The family gathering this year was suffocatingly tense. I, Amelia, stood in the corner of our spacious living room, observing everyone with unease. My father, whom I had always respected, stood near the mahogany table, frequently checking his watch. My stepmother, Lila, with a friendly smile, was arranging fresh flowers in an antique vase. Everything seemed normal, yet I sensed something was amiss. For the past 3 years, I had dedicated myself to the family business, working tirelessly with the hope that one day I would inherit it. But today, I realized that promise was shattered. "Everyone, please sit down," my father announced, his voice carrying the authoritative tone I had known since childhood. A wave of anxiety washed over me as everyone sat down, their curious eyes fixed on him. Ethan, Lila's son and my stepbrother, lounged confidently on the leather chair, his smug expression making me uncomfortable. At 35, Ethan had never worked a serious day in his life, preferring to party and boast about his entrepreneurial mindset on social media. I wondered why he was in this meeting. "As you all know," my father continued, "I've been thinking a lot about the future of our family business." He smiled at Lila, who returned his gaze with pride. "After careful consideration, I've decided to transfer majority control and ownership of the company to Ethan." His words hit me like a blow. I sat frozen, gripping the armrest, trying to stay calm. "What?" I whispered, my voice choked with disbelief. "It makes perfect sense," Lila added, placing her hand on Ethan's shoulder. "A fresh perspective is exactly what the company needs." "Dad," I managed to say, my voice trembling. "We discussed this. I've worked here for 3 years. I have an MBA. I know every client, every supplier." "Amelia, please," my father interrupted, raising his hand. "This decision was carefully considered. Ethan has innovative ideas that align better with our future vision." Ethan leaned forward, his expensive watch glinting in the afternoon light. "Don't worry, sis. I'll keep you on in some capacity, maybe in HR." I stood up abruptly, my legs shaking. "Some capacity? You promised me. You said when I finished my MBA." "Things change, Amelia," Lila interjected. "We have to think about what's best for the family." "Family?" I laughed, but it turned into a sob. "I am your family. I'm your daughter." 3 days after everything collapsed, I sat in Mr. Thompson's office, our family lawyer, feeling like I was lost in an old library with towering shelves and the smell of leather. Mr. Thompson, who had known me since I was a child, looked at me with concern as I recounted everything. "I don't understand," I said, twisting a tissue in my hands. "How could he do this legally? I thought the company would be divided equally among us." Mr. Thompson removed his glasses, rubbing his nose. "Your father restructured the company ownership last year. As the majority shareholder, he had the right to transfer shares to anyone he chose." "Last year?" The betrayal cut deeper. "So he planned this all along?" "Amelia." Mr. Thompson hesitated, then walked to the large filing cabinet. "There's something else you should know. About your grandmother's will." My grandmother passed away 5 years ago, leaving everything to my father. Or so I thought. Mr. Thompson returned with a thick folder, placing it carefully on the desk. "Your grandmother was remarkable, and she had foresight about certain possibilities." He handed me a document. "There's a clause your father doesn't know about. Your grandmother set up a trust fund for you with specific conditions." My hands shook as I read. $3 million. I whispered, feeling a flicker of hope. Why didn't I know about this? The clause stipulates you can only access the money if you start your own successful business by age 35. She believed in entrepreneurship, not just inheritance. She wanted her legacy to inspire creation, not dependence. I leaned back, stunned. Does my father know? Mr. Thompson shook his head. No, she was clear. This was only for you and only if you were cut out of the family business. She knew, I breathed, tears welling up. Somehow she knew this might happen. Your grandmother watched when your father married Lila, Mr. Thompson said gently. She had concerns. I looked out the window at the bustling traffic. Part of me felt touched by my grandmother's foresight and care. I didn't just have an inheritance, I had a path to prove myself. 3 million, I repeated, steadier. Enough to start something real. Indeed, Mr. Thompson agreed. But Amelia, this won't be easy. Starting a business never is, trust fund or not. I turned back to him, feeling something I hadn't in days. Hope. Nothing worth doing ever is, right? As I left the office, I felt a mix of relief and determination. My grandmother hadn't just left me money. She'd given me the chance to build my future, and I was determined not to disappoint her. I walked out of Mr. Thompson's office with a storm of emotions swirling inside. Anger and frustration boiled up, mingling with the pain of my father's betrayal. Ethan hadn't just taken control of the company. He was trying to undermine my reputation in the industry. Rumors about me spread quickly, spun by Ethan and his supporters. They wanted to paint me as a failure, someone who couldn't stand on her own. When I got home, my phone buzzed with a message from an old colleague. Heard you're on the brink of bankruptcy. Need help? The mocking tone only fueled my anger. Ethan had used every dirty trick to damage my credibility and career, and I couldn't sit idly by. I sat at my desk, hands shaking with rage. I knew I couldn't let Ethan win. My grandmother had given me a chance, and I wouldn't let it be destroyed by selfish individuals. I opened my laptop and began planning the green tech company I'd dreamt of. My anger transformed into a driving force. I started reaching out to potential partners, people who could help build a sustainable future. I contacted trustworthy suppliers and began creating my own network. My anger wasn't just a destructive fire. It was a source of strength to rise even stronger. Each time I recalled Ethan's lies and betrayal, my determination grew. I knew starting a business wouldn't be easy, especially facing obstacles from my own family. But I also knew I wasn't alone. Friends like Lucy stood by, ready to support and encourage me every step of the way. One evening, while working late, I received a call from a major investor I'd previously contacted. I like your idea, Amelia, he said. We're ready to invest in this project. Joy and relief surged, but it didn't dampen my resolve. I knew this was just the beginning, with many challenges ahead. As I hung up, I looked out the window at the city lights sparkling in the night. I knew there was still much work to do, but I was no longer afraid or doubtful. My anger had become strength, and I would use it to build something truly meaningful. My grandmother had given me a chance, and I wouldn't let her down. Ethan might have tried to sabotage me, but he was the one who should be worried. I would prove to everyone that I could succeed, not because of inheritance, but because of my own capabilities. After days of fatigue and anxiety, I decided I couldn't let this situation continue. I realized I needed to stand up, face the challenge, and find my inner strength. The support from Lucy and friends ignited a fire of passion and determination within me. I began the day with a resolute spirit, ready to tackle any obstacles ahead. Entering the office, I felt a new energy coursing through me. I called an emergency meeting with all staff, sharing the challenges the company faced and urging unity and creativity from everyone. The response was a room full of trusting eyes and solidarity, fueling my drive to keep fighting. My team and I reevaluated every project detail, seeking new solutions to overcome difficulties. We reached out to partners, seeking support and rebuilding trust. The long working hours were filled with passion, with creative ideas continuously discussed. Our determination and belief that we would overcome this tough time became a powerful motivator, pushing us forward. One afternoon, sitting with Lucy in the conference room, I received a call from a major investor. "We believe in Amelia and the company," the voice on the other end said. "We're ready to invest to help you overcome this challenge." Hearing those words, it felt like a massive weight had been lifted from my shoulders. Our faith and determination had finally paid off. I knew this was just the beginning, but it was proof of the power of perseverance and resolve. I looked out the window at the sunset painting the sky red and felt a surge of pride and hope. I knew the road ahead would still have challenges, but I was ready to face them. With unwavering passion and determination, I would continue to build and grow the company, pursuing my dreams without letting any obstacles hinder my progress. That morning, standing at the office window, I looked out at the city waking under the dawn light. The first rays of sunlight crept through the buildings, illuminating the path ahead. I felt an indescribable sense of pride and peace. The green tech company I had tirelessly built was not just a personal achievement, but also a testament to the power of determination and perseverance. Reflecting on the early days when everything seemed against me, I knew that without the support of friends and companions, I wouldn't have stood firm. The challenges had become motivation, transforming me into a stronger person. Now, with everything stabilized, I took time to appreciate those who had helped me. With a solid foundation and a dedicated team, I believed the company would continue to grow, bringing positive values to the community. I knew that although the road ahead still held challenges, with determination, we would overcome them together and go further. Amelia's story is a powerful testament to overcoming adversity and finding inner strength. In today's world, we often face challenges and failures, but the key is to never give up. Amelia demonstrated that despite betrayal and difficulties, we can rise and continue fighting to achieve our goals. A crucial lesson from this story is to believe in yourself and your abilities. No matter how tough the circumstances, perseverance and determination will help us overcome all challenges. Additionally, building a support network of friends and colleagues is vital. Seek those who can share your burdens and motivate you along the way. Finally, remember that success isn't just measured by numbers, but by the values and meaning we create for the community. Don't hesitate to start over and turn challenges into motivation for personal growth.